Hi, welcome to Unmuted, Breaking Free from the Stories That Silence You. My name is Tami Reagor, and I am a higher self alchemist, author, and speaker. In the last two videos, I've been talking about how your story, your life story, and potentially even your past life stories have been either helping you manifest or helping you manifest what you want or what you don't want, and how changing that story can then change your experience in the outside world. And today I want to dive deeper into that larger story and cover a piece of it that I find very important, but also find that many people, especially women, struggle with, and it is actually one of the greatest powers that Source gave us, is the power of our voice. And this is the energy of the feminine, but the side of the feminine that many of us find scary, it's that either Kali or Sekhmet, sometimes Kuan Yin, it's that fiery energy, because the feminine is not this light, airy, fairy. I mean, she is, but that's only one half of her. There is this very powerful energy. I think of like a tiger or a dragon, just that real powerhouse. And a lot of times she comes out in the voice, but we have so many stories all built up to prevent us from even attempting to broach that things that we want to say, but we don't. So I'm going to go over like what the narratives are and why that happens and what you can do about it. You have a story to tell. It doesn't matter whether you're supposed to be helping people or not. That could be if you're a business owner, then you are, but maybe you're not. But still, your story, your life story is still yours to tell. You are the narrator. No one else is supposed to be narrating anything. It's supposed to be only you. But you may find yourself telling stories that other people have told you, that the way the world works, or you may find yourself even telling their story because you've subconsciously agreed to be part of their story and like giving up your own so that you only narrate things that fit into their story instead of you having your own independent story. Now, obviously there are things like if you're married or have a partner, if you have children or even your parents and siblings, there will be shared narratives, and even with friends or clients, you'll have shared narratives, but it should never take over your own narrative. You are your own blueprint. You're your own signal from source, and your information that you receive from source, your higher self, is unique to you. So your narrative matters just as much as everyone else's. But some of the things that happen when we get to this point where you're being nudged to share your voice, and it doesn't mean that you have to be on a stage or on YouTube. This is literally just really saying the things that you want to say. And I've been here, I worked in corporate America for like 15 years, maybe 20, I'm not really sure. And I constantly did this and then would get angry at them or even sometimes myself because no one was listening to me, but I really wasn't saying the things that I really needed to say because I was afraid of their pushback, or it would come with emotions, so I wouldn't say it. So some of the things that we do instead, when we get to these points, we're being nudged to say things that might rock the boat a little bit, might seem a little edgy, may come out with some anger. I believe I've talked about how internalized anger is actually really not a good thing. We need to relearn how to express it in a healthy way. But some of the things you may do when you come to these points where you feel the nudge to say what you want to say, but you don't, you bite your tongue and you hold back. You don't say it. And there are times to bite your tongue and not say it. Like there's times when it's like, well, that isn't going to help anything, so maybe I shouldn't say anything. But there's a lot of times when you shouldn't be biting your tongue and you should actually freaking say something. The second thing is that you self-edit or self-censor. And this is when you talk yourself out of things before they have even had a chance to show themselves for what they are. These could be new opportunities. You overanalyze it, think about all the reasons why you can't do it or why it won't work, or you won't be able to sell it, no one's going to want it, I don't matter, I don't know enough. All those things are self-editing and self-censoring narratives and stories that are within your larger story that are preventing you from being able to actually say what you're supposed to do or receive the opportunities that you want. It can actually prevent you from manifesting what you truly desire, because if you can't show up fully as who you are, you're not going to receive your manifestation fully or quite the way you want, because you're not showing up for yourself. Like, you have to show up for yourself in order to receive the manifestations that you want. You can't go half in. You're asking the universe or source for, I don't know, money or a new job, a new partner, a new car, it doesn't matter. But if you can't show up fully in your life, then you aren't saying that you're not worthy of it, you're not good enough for it, you don't know enough, all those things, and then you might manifest it, but it won't come the way you want to. You have to show up for yourself. You have to stand up for yourself. Say the things that you've been holding back for a long time, okay? Or even in the moment, say those things that you want to say instead of like trying to talk yourself out of it. I find for many people who are coaches or who do service-based businesses, this included myself for a long time, I would talk myself out of contacting people because I thought they'd say no. And even before I picked up the phone, this is self-editing and self-censoring at its worst. You'll never make revenue in your business if you can't ask people for a sale. People want all these systems on how to generate leads or generate revenue. But if you can't ask for the sale, then it's not going to happen. Not that it won't happen, but it'll be harder. It may still come through, but it will be harder. It's if you are guided to something, a new opportunity, a new possibility, a new person, a new job, a new client, whatever it is, and then you talk yourself out of it, you're telling the universe that you're not worthy of what you're asking for, and then it won't happen. The third thing is, I kind of mentioned it already, but overanalyzing. We don't look at our truth from our hearts. I mean, that's where it comes from. That's where your truth lives. It's in your heart. But then we toss it up here and we do all kinds of gymnastics and roller coasters and what if this, what if this, what if this, and never what if this, like what if this happens and I don't know, I make my revenue, I get new friends, I have this love partner that I am just freaking over the top with. It's usually never those what ifs. It's always what if the worry part or what if the fear part, all those things, what might happen that might go south. And when we do that, we never say what we want to, because by the time you're done analyzing, it's not the original intent of the words that you were supposed to say originally. It's not what was needed to say. You like broke it down, change words, move things around so that it is what you think people want to say or feels safer for you to say, or will cause less of a rocking of a boat. And that's what happens when you overanalyze it. You take the power and energy out of it, and your words create your reality. What you say creates your reality. So if you're not saying what you are supposed to, then you are diminishing your manifesting ability to have the things that you actually want. The fourth thing is that when you get to a point where you feel the need to say something, you are focused on either the past or potentially the future. But let's talk about the past. And this kind of goes with overanalyzing. You're thinking about all the times you tried to say something like this before, or you did, and it didn't go right. So now, that's part of self-editing. It's like, well, I said that before, and people laughed at me, or they ignored me, or they picked it apart, which I know doesn't feel good, but people aren't necessarily going to accept what you say right away because you're just planting seeds. It's not your job to water it or fertilize it. That's their job. Your job is only to say it. And their response to you, unless you're really being mean, which I'll get into in a minute, isn't necessarily your responsibility. We take their judgment of our words against ourselves when really that's our truth, and it was needed to be said. Now, this could just be an idea. Let's say you're in a business meeting and you say an idea and people laugh at you and they pick it apart. That's because of their own programming and their own stuff. It doesn't mean that your idea wasn't good. It just means that they may be not ready for it. Or down the line, it will come back and be like, I thought about it. That's actually a great idea. It may not happen in the moment, but because we're so afraid to say it, we don't do it at all. Or we're stuck in the future where we're thinking about the words that need to be said, and we think about what the future result of those words will be. Please don't do that. You'll have no idea. In 2025, we are on the journey to the unknown, white knuckling it on the roller coaster where you cannot see the track, okay? So there's no point in doing that. And I can guarantee you the things that you think those words will get you are probably not what it is, especially if you are in overanalyzing or fear-based from a place of speaking your words. The next thing is you choose not to say anything. How many times have you swallowed words? I know as children, many of us were told to be quiet, or to, if you were crying, told to stop crying and pull up your big girl pants. I know I heard that as a child. And in that, we swallow our words with our emotions, and they don't just go away, they fester until they're either said or released. Yes, even your childhood words are potentially still hanging on inside. You shrink from opportunities. The universe is constantly sending you things so that you can manifest whatever you want to desire. It may not show up as exactly what you want, like you may have to take some inspired actions or follow the breadcrumbs, like I say, but you shrink from those opportunities because you'll have to be seen, or you might actually have to speak up and share more about your vision with someone else, and you just kind of shrink, and that doesn't help you. And then the last one is you're afraid of being mean. This I find very common, especially if you're an empath. It is hard to say things that have edges. And your words that you're supposed to speak aren't supposed to necessarily be light and fluffy. They're not. In the beginning, I talked about Kali and Sekhmet, Kuan Yin a little bit. And there's this fiery energy, and it's this energy of tough love. Tough love is never soft. It's harsh on purpose. If you're a mother or a father and you have children, you've delivered tough love to your children because you had to. You knew that that's what they needed. And it's the same thing when it comes to saying our own truth and the words that we want to say to people, or maybe to a specific person, but you're afraid you're going to hurt them so that you don't. Again, it can be the empath thing. But the only person you're hurting by not saying it is yourself. Those words are meant to be heard so that you can shift your own reality. If you don't, then you're letting the other person have control over your reality if you don't say it. Because you're saying, oh, they're more important than me. And they're not more important than you. Yes, they have importance. We're all special in our own ways. But you need to start speaking up and saying the things that you want to say. You can't hide behind this anymore. In the year of 2025, there's no hiding. If you want that grand vision, you have to start doing the things that are outside your comfort zone. And speaking up, standing up for yourself, saying your truth is one of the big ones this year. You have to be able to get there. It is imperative. You speak your reality into existence based on what you say. Okay? So if you're trying to manifest, I don't know, let's say just harmony in your relationship, okay? But you are letting the other person do all the talking and you're not saying anything because you think that that's the way to keep harmony, it will eat you alive. And it's called resentment. You have to say it to the other person. Harmony only comes when the two of you are both there. Or let's say you're trying to manifest abundance, but you're unwilling to ask for the sale, or you're unwilling to ask for a referral, or something like that, then you are preventing yourself from doing the things that are needed to say to do the breadcrumbs that source is giving you in order to manifest what you want. So what do you do about this? First and foremost, you got to realize you're doing it. We all do it. This is not about perfection. It's certainly not about self-judgment at all. This is about you empowering yourself, remembering that you have the power to change all these stories and that you can change them on a dime if you choose. But first you have to become conscious of the fact that you're doing them, because some of them are so deeply programmed that we don't even realize we're doing it. So the first step, of course, is remembering that you are doing it. So what do you do? First of all, get rid of all the false narratives that you are running from your childhood, teen years, early adults, past lives, that are stories of what other people have told you you need to be in order to be accepted, loved, belonging, getting what you want. You have to get rid of all of those. All of those things are preventing you from having that flow and ease that you want in your life, because you're trying to fit into other false narratives that aren't yours. You can't manifest from those. You're only going to manifest the opposite of what you want from them because they're not true to you. So I have a free guided meditation. There's a link to it around here somewhere, probably down below, where you can get access to that. And I will help you clear those false narratives. The second one is say what you gotta say, but learn how to do it so it lands. This is not about saying things with so much anger and hate. This is not that. This is not about blaming people for your stuff, okay? You had to deal with your own stuff, okay? Everyone else is just a mirror of you. If somebody else triggers the crap out of you, it's because of something within yourself. They are just your mirror. So you got to fix that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when, I don't know, like I said, you're in a business meeting and you have this great idea. Like, you got to say it. And at first it may come out a little mousy, a little quiet, but you may notice that people accept it and everything's great, and you've been just self-judging yourself for no reason. Or ask for the sale. I started to do this. People are like, sure, I'll sign up. I was thinking about doing that anyways. And the only reason why they didn't do it because I didn't ask. So you got to say it. And practice makes perfect for that. I mentioned this already kind of, is that you need to say those words or thoughts. They create your reality. They are your words of power, they're magic. People are really afraid of like witches, spells and all that, but your words are spells. Your words can hurt or plant a seed so someone else sees something that they couldn't see within themselves, or land a perfect business opportunity or a great new idea or a project you could start, a client. So those are all those things. And if you internalize those words, not only do you not use your voice power to create your reality, but they just fester inside of you. And a lot of times they show up as anger and resentment. So if you find yourself very angry at the world or even resentful towards the world, I would look to see if you're actually storing your words and or emotions that's actually causing that, instead of what you think it is the outside world. It's really within you. The next thing is you got to trust yourself. Your words, at first, you got to trust yourself in your words. So many people are like, well, how do I say that? How do I craft that? And again, that's overanalyzing. Just say it the way you meant to. You're only going to know like how it lands and how you might change it until you say it. But even then, your higher self and source have it crafted the way it's supposed to be said already. So you analyzing it is you saying that you know better. And I'm just going to say it the way you get that it's supposed to be said, be in the moment with it, not in the past and the future. At first it's going to feel weird, especially if this is not your jam and something that you normally don't do. But the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll have it. I used to have this, and then I cleared a lot of this, and now I say things to people and I go, like, I used to always hide that I was psychic. Now I'm like, oh yeah, I'm psychic. They're like, how'd you know that I'm psychic? Sometimes I not frighten myself, but like I close and I think, did I really say that? And it's because I have no more filter. Those are the words that are supposed to be said. Okay? The next thing is stay in the now moment. When you say the things that you get or you feel that you need to say, saying them in the now keeps you in the now moment. And that's where you manifest. There really is no tomorrow or yesterday. It's only this now moment. So if you say them in the now moment, they have the power that they come with. But if you wait a couple days or say, oh, I'll wait till the end of the week or I'll do this, they lose their momentum and their magic or power. They're meant to be said in the moment. Eventually you'll get to the point where you just kind of blurt things out, like I just said, like I telling people I'm psychic, that I hear voices. I don't even think about it. It just comes out of my mouth. And some people might be afraid that you get there and you'll just say things without thinking about it. But really, that's where the magic is. It feels so good to do that. And I was so scared of it for so long. And I'm like, what was I doing? But I had a lot of narratives and stories that were not helping me. When you speak those words in the now moment, not only do they have the magic and the power, but you are manifesting in the now moment. You do not manifest in the future. When you speak about having abundance or getting a new job or finding a partner, it's in this moment. So it's not about holding it back. You can't hold it back. You know, in 2025, many of us are integrating with our higher selves. And I will tell you that your higher selves have no frosting. They're all cake. They do not beat around the bush. They go for the jugular. So you have to speak when it comes up. Otherwise, you're just going to find yourself stuck in cycles that you can't seem to get out of. You don't know why all the manifesting techniques that you're doing aren't working. You've tried everything, quantum, non-quantum, writing things 100 times, 3 times a day, 7 days a week, which I never understood because who the hell has time for that? Vision boards, all the things. If you're not willing to speak the words that are required for you to actually get that to come true, you're going to feel like nothing's working and it's stuck. It's only because you're not doing the things that you're being called to do. And that includes saying the things that you're supposed to say. All you desire starts with you saying what you want. You got to start asking people for what you want, asking the universe to meet your needs, but also doing the things that then the universe and your higher self tell you to go do. And this isn't just showing up, taking an action. A lot of times it has to actually talk to people. And I was 5'8" when I was 10. And I will tell you, it didn't do good things for my confidence, especially with speaking up for myself. I just wanted to run and hide really badly. So I've had to really work through those things. And now that I'm willing to actually say the things I want, things are happening. It's so sweet. And all it took was for me to work through the stories that were preventing me from doing the things that my higher self and source have always been guiding me to do. It's your truth, your words, and your words create your reality. If you don't speak them, someone else is speaking word to you that is creating your reality. You try to manifest, but you speak opposite what you want. You cancel it out. Control, Alt, delete it. Okay? You must own your power within. where everything starts, and speak it into existence. That is the whole thing. But our mind gets in the way, and we don't let that magical part happen, that part 3. You create it within and then speak it into existence, pretty much. But if we're not speaking it, then we're kind of short-circuiting the whole thing. I've already mentioned that I have a free guided healing meditation link, probably down below, on a meditation you can do to clear the false narratives and the unexpressed words and all of those things, so that you at least clear that out and start to feel that freedom. I'm also offering a free 7-day trial to my school community, Your Soul's Journey Within, where every week, sometimes twice a week, I am doing 30-minute group energy story clearing based on the theme of the month. So, for example, March is all about feeling safe within, stepping into your greatness, being seen, feeling safe about sourcing your own abundance. So I'm going to be doing, there are varying times of the day because of my schedule, but the calendar's all in school, so you can figure out which ones you can come to and not. They're all recorded, so if you miss one, you can go back and listen to it. But that's free 7 days, and after the 7 days, it's $59 a month. And if you decide to join for the $59 a month, I have a special that I'm going to do, but you have to join the 7 days to find out how to get that. There's some things I still need to work out for that, so if you're interested in knowing what that is, join the free 7-day trial for my school community. And that link should be somewhere down below. So I want to thank you for listening to this video. I hope you got something out of today's video. I'm super grateful for you. I hope you listened to all 3 days and you are starting to really understand how much changing your stories can change your life. And I hope to see you soon. Bye for now.